The international monetary system that now prevails around the world did not drop out of the sky. It didn't come from Baghdad, it didn't come from Mombasa. Where did it come from? Before we examine that international monetary system, let's find out who is the author. Who are the architects? And for that I have, with your permission, to take you to the Qur'an, to Surah Al-Ma'idah of the Qur'an, to answer the question, who is the architect of the modern international monetary system? Who is the architect of the modern international political system with the United Nations? Before that, the League of Nations. Who are those who have given this to the world? بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا تتخذوا اليهود والنصارى أولياء بعضهم أولياء بعض ومن يتوله منكم فإنه منهم إن الله لا يهدي القوم الظالمين. Surah Al-Ma'idah. If we use the wrong methodology, if you'll excuse me, do not take the Jews and do not take the Christians as your friends and allies. We have Christians here who are doing the recording for me. Do not take the Jews and do not take the Christians as your friends and allies. They are friends and allies of each other. That doesn't sound true to me at all. I don't know about you. Jews and Christians were never friends and allies of each other. The Christians accuse the Jews of having committed the ultimate crime of killing God himself. Can't do worse than that. And so there was always enmity and hostility between Christians and Jews. Do not take the Jews and do not take the Christians as your friends and allies. They are friends and allies of each other. And whosoever from amongst you turn to them, friendship and alliance belong to them. And Allah does not provide guidance for a people who commit zulm. That's the wrong methodology. Now let us go to the rest of the Qur'an, where Allah permits a Muslim man to marry a Christian woman, except of course in Malaysia. Allah permits a Muslim man to marry a Christian woman. So after you marry her with this wrong methodology, you're going to have to say to her, sweetheart, you can only be my wife, you can't be my friend. That's where you land with wrong methodology. You can't have an alliance with any Christians or any Jews. But then what was the Mithaq of Medina? Was that not an agreement, a contract, a treaty, which including Muslims and Jews and pagan Arabs, contracted by the Prophet himself, alayhi salatu wasalam? We are heading into troubled waters now. And then in the Qur'an Allah tells us, لَتَجِدَنَّ أَقْرَبَهُمْ مَوَدَّةً لِلَّذِينَ آمَنُوا الَّذِينَ قَالُوا إِنَّا نَصَارَى. And you certainly find those who have the most love for you to be those who say we are Christians. And you're going to say to them, we can't be friends. We can't have an alliance with you. Sounds as though we're getting into even more troubled waters now with this defective translation of the verse. Well then, what is the meaning of the verse? It is when you go to the totality of the data in the Qur'an, which we cannot do in this short address. that we realize that no, this is not what the verse is saying. Do not take such Jews and such Christians as your friends and allies. Not all Jews. No. A Jew who is opposing the state of Israel, opposing its oppression, who is supporting the Palestinians in their struggle for liberation from oppression. Why, in the name of all the heavens above, why can't he be your friend? Where has reason gone? Why can't we live as friends and neighbors with Christians and with Jews who are not hostile to Islam? Why? Do not take such Jews and such Christians as your friends and allies, who ba'aduhum awliya'u ba'd, who themselves are friends and allies of each other. The Qur'an is anticipating an event which is to occur, when a strange and mysterious reconciliation will take place between some Christians and some Jews, and a Jewish friendship, Jewish-Christian or Judeo-Christian friendship and alliance will emerge. The Qur'an is anticipating that event. And the Qur'an is saying to us, do not be friends and allies of that Judeo-Christian alliance. But you would never have got this being unless you had used the proper methodology. And whosoever turns to them, that Judeo-Christian alliance, which it is very easy to recognize has already emerged, and it is bonded by Zionism. Whoever turns to them to be their friends and allies, like Hosni Mubarak, is that his name? Seems to have forgotten his name now. Like Parvez Musharraf, is that his name? Seems to have forgotten his name now. Whosoever from amongst you turn to them with friendship and alliance, فَإِنَّهُ مِنْهُمْ, he belongs to them. He's no longer part of us. So we need a new theology. We need a new theology for Akhirul Zaman. إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يَهْدِي الْقَوْمَ الظَّالِمِينَ. Allah will not provide guidance for people who have this as their trademark. Zulm. So the Judeo-Christian alliance would have as its trademark that it commits zulm after zulm after zulm. That Judeo-Christian alliance is responsible for giving to the world modern Western civilization. Modern Western civilization did not drop out of the sky. It has not emerged in history by accident. No. There is an architect, and this is the architect. That Judeo-Christian alliance has given to the world the modern scientific and technological revolution. They are at the heart of it. That Judeo-Christian alliance, the Zionist alliance, has given to the world the international monetary system that we now have. They didn't drop out of the sky. And the Qur'an has forbidden us from being a part of that international monetary system which has come from them. And the Qur'an has informed us, if we join them, we become a part of them, we belong to them. Having answered that question, from whence has the international monetary system emerged? Now let us proceed to describe it. Does money have integrity?